The story begins on a sunny and hot day. Seung is a young man who has been unemployed for a long time. He was going to companies in an interview for a job. Suddenly, a message arrived at Seung from a company he interviewed for a job. But they said, "We would like to inform you that you have failed in the working conditions. We wish you success in the future." Seung was saddened by this boring routine. In finding the job, at this moment, he was wearing a bear costume to promote magazines and publications in order to get a job at a company. He is a little upset, and he said in himself, "I think I will succeed this time." And while he's on a short break, one of the company's workers tells him that the break time is over. He told her, "Okay, I'm coming." Seung stood halfway through, and he started distributing magazines to people. And two beautiful girls come who want to take a picture with him. He told her to take this post and take a picture with them. It became very hot, and Seung became tired, and he repeats in himself how long his life will last like this. And suddenly, and if a boy is kidnapped in front of him and falls to the ground, and if a girl saw him on the ground, Seung took the magazines, and the girls STK collected it for you. Seung taken the magazines and thanked them. She said, "I will take one," and she went after her, and he looked at her and said, "What a nice lady," and he looked at her. When it was dark, Seung came home. It was a hard day for him and he felt sick. He opened the door and Mina called his girlfriend. And suddenly she jumps behind him and says, "She hiding me," as she says, "I was waiting for you." Mina is his girlfriend, 42 years older than him, not so much. But she is the only one who endured all these hardships with him. Mina touched his face and told him, "Your temperature is high." He said, "I don't know." She said, "What? Do you suffer? What can I do for you?" He said, "What can you do?" Mina pushed him on the bed and took his pants off and told him, "I'll make you feel better," and he really feels better. She told him, "You can't stand it," and when they finished having fun, she told him, "Seung, I bought a bag with your card and it was $461. It's a discounted price. It's half the original price. Isn't that great? I didn't want to miss it." Seung was shocked by the price of the bag. He had to do another partial work. And while thinking about it, a message reached Seung's phone. He began reading it and was surprised by it that it is a message from the company congratulating him on his success in the job interview with the employment data and the required official documents, and jumped with joy in it as he said that "My life as unemployed has finally ended." The next morning, Seung got up and changed his clothes and prepared food for Mina and went to the company. He was happy, and on his way he saw a beautiful girl in his imam and noticed that I was the girl's socks torn apart. And he shouted at her, "Excuse me, your socks were torn." The girl noticed, and suddenly she stumbled upon her shoes and fell down, and quickly Seung picked her up, but from the wrong place. The two were embarrassed and told him, "What's up?" But when he saw her, he remembered that she was the same girl who picked up the magazines from the ground and helped him pick them up. And he told her, "I wanted to tell you that your socks aren't torn. I didn't mean to do this. There is a big hole in your socks." And she said, "You're right. I didn't notice that. People must have noticed this. This is embarrassing." He told her, "I'll go." And she said, "Okay, thank you," and each of them went away. Seung arrived at the company and went to the elevator, and when he pressed the elevator button, and if she was the same girl, she appeared and said hello to him. Seung was shocked by her and told her, "When you were here," and she said, "I work here," and he said, what did he really say to himself? What a coincidence that I met her so many times. And they went up to the elevator together, and they were surprised by each other, and said to himself, "She's young. I think she's a new employee." He said it was his first day at work, and she said, "Oh, the sales and planning department." And he told her, "Yes, that's true. And are you in the same department?" And she said, "Yes, if you are the person we were expecting to come today." When he arrived at the office, someone was drinking coffee waiting for him. And he said, "I came early to assist the manager," and she said, "Good morning, Mr. Seung-ho, how was your vacation?" Seung knew that this girl was the assistant principal. Seung introduces himself to Associate Director Seung-ho as a new employee here at the company. Seung-ho also introduced himself as the assistant director. Seung-ho said to him, "Is this a student bag? Do you still use it?" The assistant manager told Seung to follow Mr. San. Seung-ho noticed that Jane's socks were ripped. He told her that, and she told him that she knew. And she looked at Seung and told him to keep it a secret between us. "Don't tell anyone." "Of course I can't do that," Seung said. And annoyance and jealousy appeared on Seung-ho's face. Jae-in said, "Seung-ho will be your boss, so you know well." From now on, he felt. Seung is frustrated and wishes Jae-in would be his boss. And San says to Seung, "Don't you bother with this, Thai. You can untie it. You don't have to. And he tells him, no thanks. I'm so comfortable. Sen tells him it's up to you. This is where the actual work begins. Sen told him, look at the first quarter reports, analyze the numbers of our competitors, classify them according to behavior, and send them to me. Seung told him yes. And when did he send it to you? Sen told him before the end of shift. Seung said what? Sen said, well, I'll give you until tomorrow. Isn't that enough time? Seung told him, no, that's enough. Seung came home very tired from the first day at work and snored from exhaustion. Mina told him, how was your first day at work? Was it fun? He tells her that his day was not fun and that his boss is not fun and boring. He has heard some rumors about his personality. He may seem nice and wonderful the first time. And he says to her, do you listen to me? And she says, yes, I am listening to you. And he looks at her in her chest, and he couldn't stand the sight, and he pulled her and took off her pants. And she said, hey, why did you take off my pants? And he says, because you are ignoring me and not listening to me. And he began to caress her. They take off their clothes to have fun, and Seung slaps Mina's butt hard, and she says, don't slap me, I hate it. And he says, shut up. And she says, stop, I don't like it. And it continues until she kicks him with her leg in the face. And she says, I told you to stop that, I don't like this. He says, Mia, why did you kick me? And she says to him, I told you not to slap me, didn't you listen to what I say? And he says to her, I didn't slap you so hard, did I pat your butt that bad? And she says to him, I don't like it, and I told you this. Are you a child? You are really immature. And he says, what, who is immature? Why are you exaggerating it? And she says, what's wrong with you? Forget it, I'll go to sleep. And the two of them go to sleep. Seung didn't believe this happened. The next day, he is in the sales department, and Seung is in his office. He sends messages to Mia and apologizes to her for what happened last night, because he thinks she is still angry with him, but she reads and does not respond to him, while he says to himself, how is it supposed to solve this problem? At this moment, a message came from his boss, Sen, telling him to come to his library at once. He went to him and said to him, assistant manager, did you call me? And he said to him, yes, wait a moment. And he told him, well, and he stayed waiting for him for a while and told him, why don't you say anything, sir? And he said to him, I apologize to you. I made you wait. I checked the files you sent me. They are messy and have typos. They are not easy to read. You don't understand the nature of the work here. You lack the basics. It looks like a high school student's report. And at this moment, the assistant manager entered him and told him, San, what are you doing? And she said, Soon did you do that? And he said, yes, I asked him yesterday. And she said it was a great first try, don't you think? And he said, yes, it's a great job. Seung says to himself as he looks at his son. He changed his words so quickly. Seung walked into the bathroom, feeling his stomach hurt and thought it was stress. He takes out the phone and sends messages to Mia and tells her, don't be angry, it's my fault. But he remembers that he is also angry at assistant principal Sen and what he did to him. He says she seems like a nice person and helps him not to lose his temper. He starts to think if Sen likes her now that he's around. And suddenly, at this moment, he hears shouting and strange sounds, as if there are two people in the bathroom next door. And make sure there are two people in the bathroom, and he says, are they crazy? Do they do that inside the company bathrooms? And he hears their words, and she says, are you sure there is no one here? And says to her, yes, I am sure of that. Seung recognizes this voice as assistant principal San scolding him. He says it was his darling who used to talk to him in letters. Suddenly, the sound of a crash. Everyone in the bathroom notices this sound. Seung fell down the toilet. He heard the door lock open. Then Mr. Sen is coming towards him and knocking on the bathroom door where Seung is in.